Hello, so today I'm going to be making a front-facing bouquet. So again, just my materials. I've got some gloves, I've got a few different types of scissors, got my tape, and I've got a few rubber bands. So I'm going to put my gloves on and get started prepping some of these materials. So actually, just to show you first, my foliage that I'm working with today, I've got this lovely beautiful cane leaf which I harvested today, so I'm going to use that and then mix in with some of my ruscus. So I've got a big heap of that too, and some gelatin wax in amongst there. And my flowers today, I'm working with some lovely lilies. I have some small yellow roses and some yellow chrysanthemums. All right. So there's no prep to do with this cane leaf. I'm going to have a play around and see how it goes, but I might end up cutting it a bit shorter. Some of the ends have fallen down already, but we'll start with the ruscus. Right, now I want to keep these pieces quite long, so I'm going to just pull the stems as so. Just going to get this pointy part of trim. Okay. 3. This one's quite long. 4. 5. And I'll leave it at that for now. Pop these other pieces down. Alright, so I've got about 5 pieces of my ruscus. I've got my cane leaf. I'm going to take a look at this gelatin wax and see how I can tidy this up. Alright, so again, I want to keep these stems quite long, so I'm just going to take a few of these shorter branches. This one is broken as well. Might need to cut. Okay, so I've got a nice long stem now. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit so it doesn't catch on the other foliage and flowers. Right, so I've got one piece. Got a few little pieces here which I'll just keep for something else, and one last piece. So again, I'm just going to take some of these lower branches off. So I've got a nice, lovely long branch. Now it is a little bit decayed at the end here, so I'm just going to chop that off and maybe take a few extra little branches off. 1, 2. That should be good. Alright. Give that something else. And little pieces. Alright. I'm going to prep my flowers now. I'll start with the lilies. Now these will be my focal flowers, so I'm going to try to either use 1 or 3. So I might prep 3 if we've got it and see how we go. Alright, so I'm just going to take off some of these leaves because they're not looking particularly great. Okay, that looks nice. Just going to trim that down a tiny bit. Put it together. There we go. Alright, tidy this down, we'll see what we're working with. Now I might cut off this branch and just use this. It does feel a little bit fragile, so we'll see how we go with that, and I'll keep this is something else. Oh, this one's came off, so give it a little chop. Take off some of these leaves. Alright, now we've got 3 again. It did make it a little bit weak cutting that off last time, but what I might do is cut off these 2. So I've just got 1 long stem, and I'll use these smaller ones for something else. Just got the 1 long stem with the bud on there now. I'm just going to take those leaves off. Cut that a little bit shorter. Okay. Probably my roses. Now ideally I'd have some rose strippers, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to be quite careful to trim these up, and these are just for me at home, so obviously I'd have to try and take the roses off if I were to sell them. I might leave those leaves up there, or at least 1. That looks nice. Right. And a few extra leaves up here. I'll get rid of this one that's starting to brown, and I'll just leave the 1. So I've got my 3 roses, and last I've got these chrysanthemums, so we'll get into this. Tidy them up, see what we work with. A few little ones I'll keep for something else. Now I did try to work with these on another bouquet in a different colour where I kept sort of 3 or 4 together, and it was quite tricky, so I might try and trim off most of them this time and see how that goes instead. Right, I'm just going to keep 1. Strip it back. I'll just keep the single flowers, and I'll keep all these little ones to use and try and do their casket box later today. So all these little tiny cut-offs will be perfect for something like that. Alright, now I might do 2 more. Not going to clean up these little ones now because I'm not going to use them for this video. Just keeping the main stem on there. Tie that up. And 1 more. Okay. Oh, so beautiful. Right. Keep all them to the side. And I'm not going to use this one right now, so oh, there's a few damaged ones on here. That's a shame. Okay. A quick cleanup. And we'll get started making. Alright. So I'm going to start with my cane leaf and then add in some of these ruscus. I'm just going to start holding it down just to get this all built in. Going to build in some of my Geraldine works now. Just a little bit lower. And a few more of my ruscus just built in the back. Okay, so these are a little bit long, so I'm just going to be trimming it all to show you what we're working with. Okay, so this is our front-facing bouquet so far. I think it's looking really lovely, and again, the cane leaf is quite long at the moment, but I think I'll trim it up. I might give it a little trim now, actually. So I'm just going to cut this on an angle so it keeps its natural sort of shape. Just cutting a few different lengths of that. Alright, so that's it so far. Now I am going to chuck a little rubber band around this just to help me to hold it, and then I'll start building in the flowers. nice and high. Okay. Lay that down. Just reposition some of that. Okay, lovely. Let's keep building. Alright, now I've got 3 lengths of this. I believe this one's my tallest, so I'll go in with this first. I'm just going to try and position this in between some of this. Alright. And we'll go in with a lower lily to the side. Oh no, I just lost one. That's okay. And one more lily on this side. Okay, so that's how it's looking so far. Trim up some of these stems. And I'm going to chuck another rubber band on because these lilies are a bit heavy. Okay, just nice and loose that time. Alright, now I'm going to go in with a couple of these roses. I think I want these a little bit lower perhaps, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. One. Two. Yeah, these stems are a little bit shorter, so we have to make them a little bit lower than I would have liked. It's okay. Ooh, so it's just being a little bit temperamental. Take it out and just try and reposition it. This one in the back there a little bit. And a bit more to the side, I think. Okay. Alright, that's what we've got at the moment. Now I'm just going to tie it together with some of these chrysanthemums. Put this one back. I was going to do 3, but I think it's looking really nice with just 2. I think if there's somewhere else I can pop that one. Maybe. Alright, let's give this a little trim up. See what they look like. That rose was just a little bit hidden there, so I might try and lower it a little bit. There we go. Alright. cover it down and one more. Alright, cut these up a little bit more. And this is our front facing bouquet.